Alrighty. Greetings, Soul Tribe. Thank you for being the vibe. You know, it's your host doing the most, Mr. G3E, the one and only. Welcome to another episode of the Daily Spread, where we take this journey within, and on this path we are led. You know what it is. You know, we're spreading light, taking flight. Thank you, God, our angels, our guardians, and ancestors, and all beings wishing us well. May this reading be swell, and in the highest vibration of light we dwell. Thank you for being here today, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you for the aid. Thank you for the support. It's been so beautiful to participate in this reading and just to be able to tap into the energy. I feel like there's a lot that's awaiting us or here for us, and I feel a very calm energy right now. It's almost like that calm before the storm or calm after the storm type of an energy. I kind of feel like everything's already sorted and you don't have to worry about anything. So yeah, man, I'm coming through with the love most above. Thank you, kings. Thank you. Ooh, I'm getting because we're tapping in all the time every day, it's like I'm getting about something about the kings and the rulers and stuff. And I mean, with me even saying that, just look at this card here at the back of the deck. We've got the rulership. Ooh, wow. The Star and the Magician as the first two cards. Yo, that's crazy. But yeah, Spirit's coming through today. I feel like there's a lot. Wow, major arcanas all the way. Okay, one on top. All right. And give us the last two cards, Spirit. What's good? So this deck we're using today is the Past Life Energy Oracle. And I'm using my Adventure Time Tarot deck, okay? Both of these. It's all good. Let's go, gang. All right. Let's see what we got. Man. Let's see what we got. Again, this energy feels so calm. I guess it's, it's speaking to just something about relaxing, relaxation. I think you're finding yourself in a place or in a space where that like they say in the Bible, it's like God's work, it's already the finished work. It's like that knowing or that certainty that you've already won, that you have eliminated any, I'm looking at this card, any type of self-doubt. While it looks like it was the challenge, or it's in this challenge position right here, it's in the center, but I'm also getting that it's something that's also being overcome somehow. But yeah, let's tap in, gang. Let's tap in. So let's start right over here. Archangel Phanuel, optimism and hope. Just looking at this, I'm getting the Three of Wands energy, with the ships coming in. And it's like, between this angel and where the ship is, there's this great distance, this vast expanse. And it's like being so certain that your ship is going to come in regardless of the circumstances, regardless of what you might be going through. I'm getting some energy about being able to walk on water. I think there's like some kind of a miracle, also some kind of protection coming through as well. I mean, with this being an archangel and this angel, of course, being focused on optimism and hope, what I'm also getting about this is like, the more you stay focused on your intention of, positivity, you're actually allowing your angels to bring in more abundance, more positive energy in. So you are ultimately becoming more magnetic by remaining in this positive energy. So no matter what you're going through, thank you for firstly being here, collective. And secondly, stay optimistic, stay hopeful, because you don't see what's on the other side, I think what's also crazy is like how I'm seeing the mountain here, and it kind of looks like it's in the fog, but then outside of the fog you see that ship there. I'm also getting something about how, when the seas are rough, you don't see what's on the other side of the waves, or, you don't see what's on the other side of the fog, if there's like a storm, which is that energy I was catching at the beginning. It's like if you don't see what's actually on the other side of that, you might lose optimism and hope. But I think this is a reminder as like, the first energy coming through. It's like, yo, we're here to remind you that if you stay optimistic and hopeful, and actually getting into optimism, it's almost like it's not like it actually is. It's like, yo, they're correcting me right now. This is the energy that you need to embody. This is the energy that you need to hone in on. And they are saying why, of course, with the self-doubt card. With self-doubt, yeah, it's like, as I'm looking at this, I'm getting shadow work. I mean, also with how dark the card is. I think, oftentimes when we are, doing shadow work, dark night of the soul, just ultimately doing that self-introspection, that self-review, we might always be looking for something to solve, something to, figure out and integrate. And, there are times when we don't actually need to dig deep. I was actually listening to a video by Jadina where she was speaking to something quite similar to that. And I think, there are times when we need to realize that we can enjoy the fruits of our labor. We can actually like take the time just to be in that moment or in that place or space that we are in, and actually appreciate that space for what it is. Of course, we are going through so many changes, evolution, taking new shape, taking new form, but we are also now in a place where we can review and actually rest. So again, I'm getting this calm energy coming through again. Just looking at this image, I think we are also at a point where we are no longer, like, you see, looking into the mirror could have been seeing what, our parents or others thought of us. I know I'm also getting something about collective consciousness, and even, what's this thing, like ideas or facades, like perpetuated, motions, ideas, or paradigms from like media and things like that. What's this thing, like brainwashing? Yeah. So it's almost like, with this lady looking away, it's like we are no longer identifying with what people once thought of us. We are no longer being the mirror to certain things or aspects of ourselves. I'm also kind of looking at this as almost like predictive, in a sense of like, if you continued looking in that direction, you were actually going to focus on that and almost become that. And it's because you don't identify with that reflection, or you don't mirror that back to those people who are trying to like pull you away. That's why you're no longer doing that, because again, it's feelings of inadequacy. You don't want to feel low. You don't want to feel down, down, like a smile upside down is a frown. So it's like, yeah, these things are ultimately being turned upside down. And that's why you're looking away towards nature, towards life, a brighter path, greener pastures. Yeah, that's what's coming through over here. I'm also being called to look at this hemimorphite crystal, and that is, unlocking the higher chakra. So I'm definitely getting something about you living from your heart has unlocked, also with the green in the, with this jungle that she's around, or this forest. It's like you living from your heart is actually allowing like energy to rise and, make it to your illumination or some revelation about you actually being greater than what was once projected, or portrayed. Projection energy is definitely coming through there. Alrighty, let's proceed. Over here, Archangel Metatron. I mean, this match that we on is like, Metatron's cube. So I'm getting a double synchronicity for me. But then the third synchronicity, 2, 3, again, taking the leap, Jordan. But, the number 3, it's my favorite number, actually, because it just keeps coming up. And we've got 3 cards here, and, 3 and 3 cards came out as well. So 3, 33, 333, definitely a synchronicity. The boys gotta rhyme sometimes, man. Well, all the time, actually. But yeah, let's proceed. Archangel Metatron, here we go with the pyramid. Looks like, there's something to do with like the moon or the galaxies there. But it's like ancient wisdom, understanding. I'm also getting, more of this galaxy energy, or like stars, and, some kind of alchemy taking place with all the little dots and the golden, little strings or lights over there. Also on his hand, I'm getting the sense that he's very much an alchemist in this card. I mean, even this golden, like, aura around this book and himself as well. Oh, my ear's been going off. And it's actually the third time I touch my ear right now. But yes, with this ancient wisdom and understanding, it's, the pyramids weren't built in a day. I think even now, like, we know that it was such great architecture that went into, and also wisdom and understanding that went into building the pyramids. But I think this is what's also being required for our future. Spirit's also letting me know that this can be looked at as like a past, present, future type of a thing. But then it's also like, here's the main energy, here's the challenge, and this is the potential energy of where we're going, or the potential outcome of what's happening right now. So I think, a lot of energy. Ooh, it just got really quiet. Just got really quiet. I don't know if you guys can actually hear that, but of course, let's proceed. I'm getting this sense that we need to like zone in, tap in, tune in. But yes, with this wisdom coming through, I think there's some wisdom that's being unlocked. I'm also getting something about this book, about, more learning. You might actually be receiving a book, a letter, a contract, something that's going to confirm or affirm you moving into this new wisdom or this new understanding. I think there's a new structure, a new place. Maybe it could be a job, a home. But again, with him being in the forefront in this structure, the pyramid being at the back, it's like you leaving a structure to go to a new structure. Again, I'm, thinking about this one here, moving to greener pastures. And that is because you've let go of the self-doubt and you've maintained optimism and hope. Very beautiful when you look at this reading backwards and forwards as well. In the background, why all of this is happening is because you are stepping into a position of leadership, of authority. I definitely think, with this vote today over here, it's coming through as like it's time, it's like a judgment has been called. And did we not have the judgment card here? Yes, we did. In fact, we do. Again, there we go, letting go of the self-doubt. But there's something about, a ruling of some kind that's being done. I'm getting this card again about a contract. Maybe somebody's going through a court case, or even the things that we deal with are very spiritual in nature. So it could also be that this is like the divine order. It's like in a spiritual court, the judgment that was taking place there was that you are now the person of authority. You are the one who's been designated, selected to be the leader in this place, in this space, or for this new era, or to take things into this new place that you're being led or going into. Oh, today I'm sipping on some green tea. you know, I'm always telling you guys what I'm sipping on. And yeah, if you feel compelled, please do let me know as well. I'm even thinking now I was led to doing that because of, me listening to Infinity all the time. So she does that. So I was like, what, that's so cool. Let's definitely share. Let's, bring each other in on this journey, on this energy. And, I mentioned these other people that I listen to as well, because I think it's so interesting how, like, there's synchronicities in some of the messages that I give as well as the messages that I hear from them. And it kind of also confirms for me as well, like, yo, bro, you're actually on it. You're on the money. So yeah, if you're on the money, I mean, I'm also seeing him here. It's like, look at that. Spirit's just like leading me to the next thing. It's like, because in the background, what we don't see with these tarot cards is, with the Seven of Wands, is because you're on this new hill, because you're on, I'm getting like top of the pyramid, because you're on this new place, this new location. There are things that you needed to block or leave behind. And it's because this wealth is protected, your destiny, your abundance is protected. This is also now tying me back to the previous reading. I was even thinking, I'm not sure if it was the previous reading or the one before, but we were talking about the turtle and the hare, and the rabbit. And in this case, it's like, because you're going to be moving so quickly, you actually do need to block things out. You need to, put up a boundary to leave things behind. And, I'm also looking at how this leader is like standing at the pedestal or this podium. And even from the podium, there's like a gap, or an expanse between you and like the crowd, or you and the people that you're speaking to, and it's like you're on an elevated platform. So again, it's like on this elevated platform you'll be able to be on stage, you'll be able to speak, but then on that platform you needed to be protected, and that's why things are being blocked. Let's see what's actually happening here. King of Coins, this is your most stable, man. And with me even looking at all this like red and darkness here, it's almost like, this guy is actually like the devil. It's like you are taking rulership over even the darkness, over the dark forces. It's like they're not able to beat you because you are ultimately so grounded now that you have stepped into this. Oh, okay, Spirit saying it's correct to turn this card over. It's because you're the magician. It's like with all the suits showing up here, it's like you're the magician because you have power or dominion over the light as well as the dark. So there's just something about you having integrated or mastered your energy in some shape. But I think that's really cool. I mean, look, you've even got your legs up, still in this position of leadership. And again, the most grounded version of you. So your earthly blessings or abundance is coming in. But again, with, this almost like depicting hell, it's like people are burning, people are stressed, people are worried, but there you are, you chilling. You're just thinking about your next move. It's like, okay, I've got the bag. Now what can I, bring into fruition? I'm even getting something about like thunder and, clouds as well over there. So it's like you've got this ability to like, shift between realms or dimensions. Whoa, this is getting deep. Okay, one more. Spirit saying one more. Yo, death. Things needed to come to an end. This is your transformation ultimately. I think that's where this integration is taking place, where you've made it to this point. And I mean, hell is, also speaking to things with death, because, they say you're going to burn in hell or go to hell type of a thing. But then you having been in this dark place or space is what actually brought about your transformation. And it's like you survived ultimately. Even though this looks like death, I'm actually getting life. I'm getting rebirth energy coming from this. So that's you going further. Okay, Spirit saying one more. Yeah, and you showing like false crowns or false rulership ultimately. That's what you are transforming. I think you're going to be the first of a kind, or the first one in your community or space to even do the things that you're doing. But then also just to kind of look at it from this point of view where, they are on this throne here, and there's also a throne in this place here. It's like, again, false rulers are going to be taken off their throne. Wow, okay, Spirit's telling me there's one more, 5. Okay, something about the number 5. Definitely a change coming in. With this Temperance card, it's like, yo, actually, let me pause for a second. There's some kind of channel wanting to pull up. Oh, okay. I'm getting something about timing here. Temperance is also about balance as well. It's like it's about time. I think there was an element of patience or like a lack of patience, but I'm also just getting something about timing, that it's high time. Time is up. I'm also getting that what we don't see was that there was an imbalance, and that's why this false emperor or false crowning or throning is being exposed or revealed, and they being removed. So definitely something about that. And again, we're getting the angels and the 2 doves, or what is it, ducks. Oh, actually kind of looks like a duck and a chicken. So yeah, I think that it's definitely going to expose where things are not in balance, where things look like a bird but it's actually not a bird. So yeah, something very interesting with that. But let's proceed. Spirit says let's go to the angel, which was Archangel Phanuel. Alrighty. So for Archangel Phanuel, this is so crazy, man. We got the Star and the Magician. And at the back of this deck, I was being led to saying that, here's this Magician energy as I was, looking at this King of Wands. And I think let's just keep it like this. There's this, element of, all the elements. I'm thinking four, suits as well, but I'm also getting four wands. So it's like there's this homecoming. It's like you coming to this abundant version of yourself that is able to, step into your creation energy, to be able to turn negatives to positives. I was also getting something about alchemy over there. But there's this great miracle with your ships coming in. It's like your obedience, your diligence is being recognized, and you are now stepping into a place where, I'm also getting with the temperance. Oh, look at that! She's flying on a carpet. This is like some Aladdin and Jasmine type of energy right now. So it's like everything is coming in. Your ships are coming in. So love, career, home. It's like so many blessings are just on their way to you. And with me seeing this flying carpet, it's like you being elevated in a way that people might not even understand. Or it's even like if you were on a flying carpet and you like up in the air, and you like, all these blessings are pouring down. It's like, all this water here has been scooped up into these jugs, and these jugs are like never ending water. And even from those clouds, they're now being spread, they're being dissipated. And as I even look into this star looks like it has like four eyes. And it's like a diamond. It's like you having been put under pressure gave you more vision, it gave you more perspective. Actually, I'm even looking at her with the glasses on, four eyes. That might have been a joke that people made about you. I don't know if you wear glasses or used to wear glasses, but this is also coming through as like spiritual eyeglasses. I'm even thinking about another person that I watch, Latoya on YouTube, and she likes to say that it's like you having taken the time to see yourself through the eyes of God, through the eyes of Source. Again, linking to the previous reading, you now see that you are this great magician, you are this great creator, and you can manifest, you can, bring things into abundance. I'm even thinking about myself right now in this song that I made with a friend of mine. And there's a line that I put in there where I said, we put 8 on the side, and that's infinity. That means we're killing shit forever, no forgetting me. So it's like, when something's infinite, when something is omnipresent, it's like it's everywhere, it's visible, it can't be denied. So I'm getting something about this creation, this energies being so like abundant, so opulent. I mean, just look at all those colors, all these like, different like streams of energy and thought. It's like, tassels, or it's like an explosion. It's like confetti just like, blew up out of like, a surprise box. So I'm also getting, a surprise miracle type of an energy, and it looks like a lot of it's happening all at the same time. This is very, very powerful. And I mean, with two major arcana cards, it's like I'm also getting like maybe two major events. Again, the two jugs, or canisters, two big blessings coming in, and that's just gonna like, drop some sauce over the whole thing. You're cooking up the drip out here. And then we're getting that wizard energy once again. That's another song that I made. So look at that, me referencing two songs. So it's almost like, after these two acts occur, two releases, two events occur, then it's like, you are now stepping in. And I'm even looking at this dress code, and like this mink or protective coat that's over here. It's like there's this transformation also in how you look, how you dress, how you present yourself. And I'm also looking at that, I'm getting that death card energy here, and how something came from what they were trying to kill you with. Because I mean, just look at that seedling popping out of the skull. So I'm also getting that integration again, also about how, you made it through hell, but you've transformed, you've shapeshifted, you've integrated this. So yeah, that's very beautiful, man. That's very, very beautiful. Again, it's like it's done. I'm feeling so calm today. It's beautiful, man. I love it. It's optimistic, it's hopeful. But yeah, just before we get off this, I'm getting pulled to the blue and the yellow. So it's like your actions, your sacral energy, the things that you put out there are going to be bright and going to be seen. But then also, remember that your throat chakra is calling at you to continue speaking, continue listening, and continue taking responsibility as well. Wow, that was really nice. Thank you, Spirit. Alrighty, for our self-doubt card, feelings of inadequacy. Yo, I'm getting that mirror, mirror on the wall kind of an energy again, and like a lack of identifying with this previous version of yourself, or whatever projection was being cast or portrayed. But let's see what we got here. So Spirit gave us the Judgment in reverse and the Knight of Cups in reverse. Interesting. Let me take a sip of my tea while we download this. Yeah, I'm getting an energy about forsaking yourself. It's like not listening to your intuition or where you were being called is, removing you from self-care, the love that you could have offered yourself. I'm getting something again about, leaving a community or a previous way of thinking, of being behind. Because if you're young, you're actually seeing that it was going to kill you. It's going to make you old, or like, die young, even in a sense. It's like aging quicker than you should have, because this path was ultimately leading you towards like death. I also get this sense of how you were made to doubt yourself, perhaps even your abilities, your capabilities. And it was, I'm getting like how you see these people are like standing up here in the card. And, when you think about an uprising, people are now rising because of this music, because of this creation energy over here. But then it's also coming through like, you don't want to be dead. You don't want to be left behind. There was something else coming through again about this, but I don't know, something's like disturbing me right now. I'm getting something about smoke. I don't know, is it the incense that I'm burning? But yeah, it's like the smoke is being cleared up. I'm also like being called back to this mountain over here that we were seeing on this card. So this smoke, smoke and mirrors is being cleared up. And the reason why that is occurring is because you are not going to forsake yourself. You are not going to disobey the calling, and you are being called to, again, the greener pastures, or being called to, again, a different way of being, no longer doubting yourself. I'm also getting something about, yes, here we go, Spirit. Thank you. This doubt, it's like in your abilities, in your capabilities, you might have been told like to forsake your intuition. And I think, even your creative pursuits, your gifts, just the things that you loved doing, you were made to doubt them, or doubt was cast on those things, and now you are getting a chance to look away, because you now realize that those things that they cast doubt and judgment upon were the very same things that made you whole, that made you your best, your most opulent, your most abundant. So even as I'm looking at this bike in reverse, it's like you are now moving towards that calling and moving away from the self-doubt. It's like needing to like kind of like unravel or peel back the layers. It's like, actually, what was it that was aiding or lifting me up, adding to my self-care, my recognition of myself. And it's even like a energy callback, because maybe you are not now giving your energy to this projection of these people, this idea of how the media portrays things, or this group, this community, old friends, relationships. It's coming to us like a lot of people right now, again, large collective. Or it could actually be, it's just speaking to different situations in your life, where the more that you try to identify with people, you didn't identify with them, and your ultimate validation is now from yourself, or coming from within. So again, I'm just feeling that you no longer faking it. Oh, faking it to make it. Oh, goodness gracious. Something about keeping up appearances as well. It's like, yes, now you want to be true to you. There's no need to fake it. There's no need to be the mirror and project back this image that people want to think or see of you. Wow, man, this is quite deep. This is quite deep. But again, it's like now you're moving away. You're moving towards giving this energy back to yourself. I'm getting something about how you very much had an open heart. You constantly offer, healing, care, love, even insight to other people. I'm thinking about what the cups are representing. But in this time, or in this period, it's like maybe that's why it's also coming to us like a challenge, is to say, following your calling has been tough. Giving to yourself has been tough. But right now, you realize that you don't want to feel inadequate anymore. So, because of those different situations where you kind of were blocked or being put in a room of mirrors, all you are actually being faced to see is yourself. I'm even being reminded of this image that I saw earlier today from a friend of mine's status. And his name is Treasure, by the way. And it's like the treasure was within. And even in the status, it says it was like a Twitter post from Kanye West. And he says, I want to be in a room full of mirrors so I can be surrounded by winners. So, you seeing yourself was you realizing that you were the winner after all. You were the triumphant one after all. You were the enigma. You were the glitch in the matrix. You know what I mean? You were the one ultimately. So I think, yeah, you were kind of like meant to doubt yourself or made to believe that you needed to constantly give to others. And that's what's like changing right now. I'm even being led. Spirit, can you just tell me one more thing about this? Let's round that out really nicely. What's good, gang? Okay, you want to give me two? All right, I accept. Ooh, there's an acceptance as well. Outside of me accepting these cards, it's like you accepting that, yeah, you had to leave this place, man. You had to leave the circus. You had to leave any like confusion or veil that was going to be cast upon, your mind, previous ways of thinking. I'm thinking about how at the background, there's typically like a campfire there with like a bunch of people. And then here you are removing the weapons or whatever they thought they were going to form against you. Ooh. Sorry, I don't know why I coughed there, but throat chakra activation. And while you had to leave that behind, again, it's something again with the mind, leaving behind what was constraining the mind. You needed to change your perspective, how you saw this whole thing, because this wasn't allowing you to be in a position of discernment and also taking like action on the things that you knew were like, these intuitive hits, these new insights, these new epiphanies. I'm getting something about dreams as well right here, that you were made to doubt your gifts, your ability to sense, your ability to perceive things. So with this King of Swords in reverse, it looks like he's in a junkyard, and I'm also getting that was what's being eliminated. All the junk is like falling out. So any thought that was depleting is where this energy was being highlighted ultimately, and that's why we're needing to leave it behind. So we're removing the junk. We even like focusing our energy elsewhere on the greener pastures because it wasn't for us. Yeah, definitely something about release here, but again, it's a new paradigm, a new way of thinking. So yeah, definitely stepping into this new kingdom again, but crowning, but stronger, wiser. And it's like you couldn't go into this new place with ancient wisdom and understanding with that old way of thinking, so I don't know, habits, old routines, that all needing to be let go. Wow, Three of Wands. Was I not picking up on this card earlier? Goodness gracious. And look at that. It's like it's almost foreseeing or foretelling what was happening from you being optimistic and hopeful. So yeah, with the Three of Wands, like I mentioned, these are your, your ships coming in. After you have a plan, now it's time to act on that plan. So I'm also seeing something about, how this wisdom, this understanding, is like you now needed to, get your things in order. I'm even looking at these steps here in the background. It's like now you're ready to take your steps. Also, looking at how it's ascending, I'm also looking at, how a pyramid kind of looks like it has steps or levels to it. It's like now you standing outside of this structure, ready to, embark on this new journey, on the journey within. That's what we do here in Roots Holistic. But I think it's time, it's like you've gathered your resources, you've gathered your strength, and I'm being called to think about the Two of Wands, where with the Two of Wands, it's like you spent your time planning, you've got your blueprint, and now you're gonna dance right into this new era. It's like with ease, with flow, with such grace. That's so beautiful, man. I love this. I love this. Nine of Wands in reverse, as well as the Queen of Cups in reverse. Ooh. Oh, wow. She's got a baby here in this cup. I mean, a baby in the cup. Okay, I don't think that was a mistake. But let's see over here. Nine of Wands. Wow, I love these cards. They're so descriptive with their images. Hmm. I'm getting something about a live wire, or, how this dog is actually like setting fire to these wands, these different ventures or things that you wanted to do. I think, with this being in the reverse, it's like as you move forward, there's going to be an exposure of what was ultimately stopping you, like from reaching your new level, your new threshold. As I'm thinking about the Nine of Wands, it's like the wounded warrior. It's like you now no longer have to worry about whatever blockages or things that were limiting you. I get this sense of like how you kind of like work to a certain point, or energy would rise to a certain level, and then just as you think, okay, my abundance is here, or this meeting or this opportunity, this energy, this person, this place is going to be what's for me, but then you actually are being shown what was not actually for you. It's like you're being given chances to see or even explore what you thought was going to be nice or work out well for you, but now it's like you're setting fire to those things. I'm even getting something about like a funeral, or even a ceremony of like burning things to ashes, and it's like you're letting these things go. It's like a letting go of the past, because you realize that even all those efforts, while you might have tried and tried and tried again, they were not actually for your highest self or your highest purpose. And again, I'm just getting something about a funeral, like leaving things behind, an old version of you, this old way of doing things, or old way of being, because now you have more wisdom, now you have more insight as to what it is that you actually want to do. You're not going to now keep trying again in places or spaces that are actually like draining you or defeating, and I'm also getting this defeat again with this dog by the feet. It's like maybe they try to defeat you, but you're not even going to spend time in this place or space. That's why you are, moving away. You're going to somewhere else, because this isn't where you're going to get your completion. I'm also thinking about how the following card is the Ten of Wands, and I'm being shown it in my mind also in reverse. And it's like you're dropping the other burdens. You were actually going to be protected or shielded from taking on things that were going to get like in the way of this divine orchestration of you moving into your higher self. Here I said earlier about something like about a baby in a cup, and it's weird. How would a baby be inside of a cup? I'm getting something about how, people now can actually create their children, like you can kind of pick your child's features while they're in this like what's that, like not a crucible, man, but like a petri dish or something, like in the lab they can kind of like fine tune and fake the baby in a sense. So it's like you and they are not now going to participate together in faking this creation, in this new sprouting, this new abundance, because it's like your energy was ultimately being like harvested or being used to make something or bring something into fruition that is not ultimately aligned with you. So this baby in a cup, if I'm looking at this in reverse, it's like it's actually being removed, because now you have greater wisdom that you don't want to create in this place, because it's, again, with the cups, it's not going to bring you any healing, it's not going to bring you any fulfillment. And I think like you're no longer emotionally invested in creating in places and spaces that are actually not for you, where you've learned over time that it's not passionate. It doesn't, bring that zest, that viril out of you. Wow. Very, very, very poignant, very much coming through like that. Yeah, and as I'm also looking at her in this card, it's like, she's like at the edge, she's like sitting at the edge of the riverbank, and it's like you are now at the edge of this path. It almost gives me like the Fool in reverse right now, and I'm getting that this is like the advice, because I was actually thinking now, like, what advice can we give the collective? And it's like, as you are approaching this edge, don't be foolish. Don't do anything that's going to now feed whatever they're trying to extract from you, because you now need to like pull your energy back and focus it on you being your highest self. Where energy goes, focus flows, and she's looking towards the greener pastures. So you're looking towards your higher self, you're looking towards your pyramid, because now you have greater wisdom and understanding. I'm thinking about the Hangman card as well right now, as well as this Judgment card. And yeah, you calling a spade a spade. You've called bullshit on the nonsense ultimately, because you realize that, you know what, you don't want to be trapped or held in places or spaces that are not for you anymore. Are we good? Yes, we are. Okay, one more. Let's see what's behind this. What's behind this? So if you're stepping into leadership, ooh, a reversal of fortune. Ooh, Spirit, who's this? Who's this? Is this us, the collective? No, this is the community. You stepping into your leadership is actually a loss to other people. So, we were speaking about how, you need to block things, you need to leave things behind. I'm also being called to how this is like the past life oracle deck. So, you leaving things in the past is actually lost to other people. But then it's also because, this place wasn't for your greatest abundance, and, that's why we have to leave them behind. So, you definitely are going to cause a shakeup from you following your highest self, your highest purpose. But then it looks like it's what's orchestrated. It looks like it's what's divinely planned, actually. Okay, Spirit saying both of them want to come up. But let's see. Oh, wow. Guys, love is coming in. Oh, that's so beautiful. That's so interesting. This could also be, if it's not you and, a divine counterpart, this could also be you and spirit, a greater divine order, divine orchestration taking place here. You might just be meeting with someone who's also going to help you grow your business, establish something new ultimately. And again, love could be a love in another, or a love in, your passion, your pursuit, love in your new job, love in your new, ooh, getting a confirmation burp right there. And something missing, intimacy or fertility issues. And I get it. It's because, you needed to find this love. You see how it's even progressing from 17 to 18. I think this person's actually, there's something missing, or this place, this space is actually gonna like round things out, because there was something missing. There was a lack of intimacy in this current place that you were in. But with me looking at it as the progression, it's like you'll be able to heal this actually. Wow, Spirit's coming through that. Fertility as well, with the baby in the cup. It's like unnatural ways of love, unnatural ways of creation are going to be healed. So yeah, Spirit saying, let me actually leave it right there. Looks like we're gonna get some more in our reading tomorrow. Ooh, I'm actually being led to how this is 16, 17, 18. Guys, things are in alignment, things are like moving away, moving well, and moving well. I don't know what that's about. But again, it's like, oh, moving a well. It's like your stream of abundance has been moved. So, you know what? Just trust that this movement is going to be good, because your abundance isn't in your current place, but it's in this new place, right? So yeah, thank you, team. Thank you for the time that you spent with me. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the love. Yeah, let's spread that light. Spread that light, and let's take flight. Alrighty, peace, gang. Cheers. Yay, yay.